Hi, I'm Heidi Bellato. I am a Charlotte-based food and travel writer, and I do a lot of cooking videos. And I'm here in my kitchen with my good friend Mary Jane Wilson. Mary Jane has a company called Thoughtful Baking Company. And if you have ever seen one of my in the parking lot at the farmer's market videos, I eat a lot of what she bakes. So I recently wrote an article for the Dairy Alliance on their blog about milk crumb, which is a wonderful little crunchy sweet something something. And I thought it'd be fun to do a video with Mary Jane, who makes a lot of milk crumb, to show us exactly how it's done.
Yeah.
So tell us when you sort of discovered milk crumb.
Yeah, Christina Tosi from Milk Bar, that was where I first saw it. What I love about it is it's like a really fun component that can really be customized to whatever flavor profile you're working with. It's a great complement as far as texture goes to a lot of desserts. So if you have some like softer, spongier textures in your dessert, this is a great way to add some crunch to it and to add some extra flavor in there.
I was going to say, when we add milk or cream or half and half to any dish, it makes it rich and creamy and smooth and this great mouthfeel. But sometimes you just want a little crunch.
Yeah, I love putting different textures in.
So now we're going to use whole milk or non-fat milk, either one, to make milk the crunchy factor.
Yeah,
the crunchy factor, which I can tell you, I could just put in a jar like this and just nibble on, have that in my car.
Yes.
And just nibble on.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I think you should just start selling jars of milk. I think that's a great idea.
It's a great sweet little snack.
It is. It really is. So we are not going to start with real liquid milk, though. We're going to start with real powdered milk.
Yes. Yep.
And this is what powdered milk looks like. We have two different kinds here, right? Non-fat, and this is whole milk, powdered milk.
Yep.
And you actually say you use the non-fat, right?
I do use the non-fat. Yeah. Yep.
So, particular reason?
I just found it's easier to find. I actually haven't seen the whole milk until you showed me that.
Yeah.
So non-fat dried milk solid is what it's called in the baking world.
And lots of chefs use that for to make ice cream smoother.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of purposes, and it is real dairy.
It is.
It is really real dairy. There's nothing else in it. This is not powdered creamer,
right?
Which has lots of not so great stuff in it. But this is just milk.
Right. It's not sweet at all.
Milk, and you can in fact make your own, which I'm going to try. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, let me know.
But you just dehydrate milk. So if you have local milk and you have a small amount left in your carton and you're not going to use it, you don't want it to go bad, you can dehydrate it, make your own milk powder, and then preserve it that way. So stay tuned for that part of the recipe. Right now, this is milk powder that we bought.
Yes.
That we bought. And you can find it lots of places. Lots of grocery stores have it.
Yeah.
It is, I have to tell you, when I went to look for it, do you buy it at a grocery store or do you buy it commercially?
I usually buy it commercially.
So in a grocery store, it's a hunt for it.
Is it in the baking aisle?
Well, you would think that.
Yeah.
But not always. And it wasn't always where all the shelf-stable milks were either. So I think it just depends on the grocery store.
Yeah.
They have it, and just look around or ask for powdered milk. And you don't want, again, powdered creamer.
Correct.
Totally different.
It is
animal.
different. Yep.
Yeah. So whole milk, full dairy. Tell us what we do.
Yeah, so the first thing, we'll get our bowl and our mixing
I'm going to get this camera moved over here a little bit.
So I've got the milk powder in this jar. I've already weighed out my whole recipe. So we're going to add this in here. We do need to melt a little bit of butter.
So tell us how much it is. How much milk?
I did it all by weight.
Okay.
So I think it was and this is very lightweight. So I think it was 34 grams or something like that. I can give you my recipe.
So I can tell you that I've known enough pastry chefs now through the Chef Showdown and through doing the cooking stage at the State Fair. You weigh everything,
I do,
right?
yes.
So,
it's just more
really easier.
It is. It's faster. It's easier. It's more precise.
Yeah.
It's easier to scale a recipe that way.
So you put your bowl on. Sorry, I didn't.
That's okay.
You wacky with the spoon. You put the bowl on the scale and you figure out what that is, and then you make that be 0.
Right.
You zero that
Tear it
out, and then you just. If you need 5 grams, you just pour it in until the scale says 5 grams.
And that way you can, and so if you're making bread or whatever, you can just put one bowl on the scale and keep tearing it, add your flour, add your salt, add your yeast, whatever.
So simple.
It is a lot faster.
Who I mentioned in the article as well, and also Jill Heaton, Ty was at the State Fair, and she was making candy bars or something, and weighed out everything on a scale, and I had everybody in the audience ready to go. If I had a scale business for sale there, we could have sold 1 million of them. So butter. Let's talk about butter.
Yeah.
The butter you're going to use is one of my favorites.
Yep.
This is Una alla volta butter from our good friend Zach Gadberry.
Yep.
Love him.
He's the
And
best.
he uses local milk to make local butter. I just keep this on hand in the freezer.
It's not the same butter you get at the grocery store.
Mm-mm.
It just isn't.
Mm-mm. It's not. You can also buy Amish butter at the farmer's market, and that's also locally made.
Yep.
But there's just something special about Zach.
I know, and just knowing the person that's making
Well,
it.
true.
It always makes it
It's
better.
like you always know your farmer,
Exactly.
always know your chef.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. How much are we gonna melt?
2 tablespoons.
Okay, so we'll be right back after we have melted butter. All right, we are back with melted butter. So here's a pro tip. Mary Jane's got everything in a ball jar, and lots of chefs do this.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so this one says butternut squash soup. Mary Jane sells a lot of stuff in ball jars, so you happen to have a lot of them. A really delicious, just a little plug, chicken and rice soup that I love. And I'm not sure how I missed gingerbread and eggnog.
We did that over Christmas.
But man,
yeah.
So this was like cake in a jar.
Yeah. We've done a lot of it. People love this. We did a milk and cookies jar where we used, grinded up.
And so
cookies.
really, like that's 2 servings, but I'm telling you,
sure.
I could just.
Totally. Well, I like it because you can put the lid on, put it away, come back to it.
Right. That's excellent.
Yeah, but I like the jars. I try to use more glass than plastic.
Right, which is better.
As much as I can.
And you have them, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then you also, a little aside, but if people are buying soup and stuff from you, they can bring their jars back.
Yes, if they bring their jars back, we give them a 10% discount on an item, and then we can sanitize them and reuse them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, back to milk powder.
Yeah, so we've got our dried milk solids in the bowl. We're going to add, this is a little bit of cornstarch, which helps kind of dry it out. It also gives it a nice texture kind of bite to it. Mm-hmm. I think the most equivalent thing I can think of is like a shortbread, that kind of bite of a shortbread. Right. The cornstarch helps with that. So we're going to mix that in. We're going to use a little bit of flour. This is North Carolina milled flour from Lindley Mills. You can also do gluten-free flour, though.
Right.
You can make this whole recipe gluten-free.
Very cool.
And then a little bit of sugar. So it's not a lot in comparison to the rest of the ingredients. And I love that about milk crumb. It's not overly sweet.
Right.
But it is sweet, but it's not like over the top. And then a little bit of salt, which I had mixed in with my sugar.
Okay.
So I love also the contrast. Like I think
you do that a lot.
My pro tip is add salt to your desserts. It makes a huge, like our cookies, we put Bull's Bay Saltworks.
Yes.
Sea salt on top of it, and it gives a great contrast it makes it just taste better.
So when you bake in a sweet recipe that you're adding salt to, do you do a local sea salt, or do you do a kosher salt?
So I do usually I do kosher salt in the actual baking, and then I like to finish it with a sea salt.
With kind of a
so like we did brownies with like ganache on top, put a little sea salt on top, or our cookies when it comes out of the oven, put a little sea salt on top. It's a game changer, and I think it's like a really underutilized ingredient in baking. It makes everything just taste a little bit better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we've got all this mixed in with our bowl, and then now it's time.
Mixing. Hold on 1 second, because I'm going to video down here now. Okay. Go.
So this is all the dry ingredients. So I have also in the past, like for the Chef Showdown, I did a pecan milk crumb, and so in that I took fresh pecans, ground them up kind of finely, not all the way to like a paste, but really finely ground, and that would go in now.
So if you're going to make a flavored milk crumb.
Yep.
Now's the time. Like
if you're doing nuts, if you were going to do chocolate, you could add cocoa powder. If you're going to do some kind of nuts, you would grind them up and put them in now. Peanut would be really good, like a salty peanut milk crumb would be delicious.
What about a berry?
So so for the berries, what I've used is freeze dried berries. That you called it pixie dust, but we did like
I remember that.
Yeah. We did freeze dried strawberries and grind them in a coffee grinder, and it makes this very bold flavored powder. And that's what I would do here. It doesn't have to be a powder for this. Like you could keep it in pieces, but to get a more kind of like homogeneous mixture of the flavor, you could add that in now too. Yes.
I love the pixie.
Or you could also, when we're finished baking this, we mix it white chocolate. You could also add flavors to that.
Oh, okay.
So
perfect.
Either way, depending on how you're flavoring it, would be whether you put it in before you bake it or put it in after.
Got it.
So we're gonna add in our melted butter, and this is gonna make a crumb. This is kind of where the crumb, because it makes a really almost streusel-y
like
kind of texture.
Just like a streusel topping.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're gonna mix it in. You want it to have these little kind of balls of stuff. And part of, I'm just gonna get in there with my hand too. I really like the pieces. So like when Christina Tosi does it, she does really big. Yeah, she does like really big pieces. Yeah, the butter smells great.
So she was like, because every single chef I've talked to about milk crumb has mentioned her name.
As far as I know, like she created this
thing.
Yes, and she uses it in
credit
cakes.
To Christina. We love Christina.
We do. She does it in cakes. So like she'll layer a cake with icing, put some milk crumb in the middle, and stack it up.
Yeah.
And then when you cut into it, you get all these great textures. All right, so we got that spread out on a little pan.
So let's see what we have there.
And we're gonna now put that into the oven.
Okay.
And so your goal here, it's 350 oven. So our goal here is we're gonna put it in the oven, and every 5 to 10 minutes, come and stir it, because it'll start getting brown around the edges, and you just want to move it around. And we're trying to get a nice, consistent, sort of golden color.
And how long does this stay in the oven?
I just keep checking it. It depends on the.
Okay.
Classic chef answer. Yeah. It's done when it's done. But every 5 to 10 minutes, just stir it, check it, and then eventually you'll see it's consistently brown, and we'll show you what that looks like when it gets there.
Okay. We're going over to the oven.
We're going to the oven. All right, you can see we're starting to get a little color. Mm-hmm. So this is
mostly around the edges.
Yep. So this is why the stirring is super important. And so now we're going to want to watch it really closely, because like once it starts getting a little color, it kind of goes pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. So it's really the milk caramelizing.
Yep. And there's a little sugar in there, so that sugar does that too.
So cool.
All right.
We're back, and our milk crumb is warm in the pan, a little warm. So, but out of the oven. Here we go, right there. Oh, that is kind of hot, actually. All right, word to the wise, a pot holder may be a good idea.
I have one over here.
So now that you have it in the pan,
yes,
and we have it on parchment paper, and that really just helps a little bit.
Yeah, and
it's
you can use that.
Stick.
No, it's not going to stick, but it's just easier to clean up.
Yeah. All right.
So this is now we're going to put this in a bowl.
I'm going to move that out of the way so we can see.
And so you see we got some really nice color caramelization on there.
And move this over here.
Yep, I can get this out of here.
So it's just in a big bowl.
Yep, it's still a little warm.
And is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't want it like hot, but a little warm is fine. And so we have melted some white chocolate. That is in here.
And that's just regular white chocolate chips.
It is. And so this one too, this would be the time to add citrus zest or extract or the freeze-dried berries that you grind up, any of that stuff. This is when you want to add that in. So we're going to mix this.
And this too is not coating chocolate.
Correct.
This is real deal white chocolate.
Correct.
Real deal white chocolate, like white chocolate chips from any chocolate company.
Yep.
Easily available at the grocery store, but don't buy coating chocolate because that's just wax.
It's not, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to mix it up.
So you're just
stirring
all that together with the wooden spoon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use my hand again.
Okay.
Just because I think I can get it in there a little better. And so you can see how it's going to start kind of making little clumps, which is what you want. If you mix it a little longer, you're going to get smaller clumps. If you leave it, you're going to get bigger clumps. And I like the chocolate coats this mixture so that if you put it into anything that had a higher moisture content, it's going to, the white chocolate coats it. And so that keeps it crunchy.
Kind of protects it.
Yes.
So if you were going to put it in with chocolate mousse, for example, it would still be a crunchy layer.
Yep.
Cool.
And it once you make this, I keep it in a jar, airtight, keep it away from moisture, but for a couple months, it's fine.
Which is remarkable.
It is.
That you could have a day of milk crumb making.
You could.
And then just have it in jars and in your freezer. So this is, we have 2 of them here that you made earlier.
Yep.
Just show them in
and
this
so
tin
this
here.
is the sort of final product.
Let's show that first.
This one's still a little warm.
So if we ate this now,
totally.
there's not. Oh, it's a little crunchy.
Yeah, it will. The white chocolate kind of hardens.
Yeah.
You can throw it in the fridge at this point, or just leave it at room temp.
So it's actually the white chocolate that makes the crunch.
Yes. Well, yes. That's what kind of like protects it. And once the dried milk solid, like if you want to take a little piece of that, that's the original mixture with a little less chocolate. It does have crunch. Chocolate gives it a different bite.
It really does taste like caramelized milk.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. This one you can see I went a little lighter in the oven.
Yeah.
That one has the nuts in it too. This one we went a little darker. I like the more caramelly, but it just depends on, like, if you're doing a citrus dessert, you may want a little less caramelization. If you're doing like a rich, like chocolatey, something like that, you would maybe want a little more caramelization.
So, and here's the really cool thing. Now, because you freeze it to keep it.
The one with the nuts I freeze.
Right.
Just because the nuts can go bad.
This was actually what you used at the Chef Showdown this year, which was in August.
Yeah. We're
filming this in February.
Yeah.
And it
tastes great.
Every bit as delicious.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
So just in a mason jar, in
just
a ball jar in the refrigerator.
Yep, keep it airtight. Keep it airtight so it doesn't get moisture. But other than that, yeah, it's got a really great shelf life.
That is amazing. And then the lighter one. So this is two things, right? Gluten-free.
That one is gluten-free, yeah, and I added lemon zest to the white chocolate.
But neither one of those really affect the color. What affects the color is how long you left it to toast.
Correct. Yep.
What a cool thing, Mary Jane. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Tell people how they can find you.
Yeah, we are at several local Charlotte farmers markets. We're at the Matthews Market, Davidson Regional, and Uptown. We also have some vending fridges that have our pot pies and quiche in them. Around town, if you go to our website, thoughtfulbakingco.com, all the info is on there.
And where are you on Instagram?
_between between each word. We're on there. We post each week where we're going to be and what we're making.
And on Facebook?
Just Thoughtful Baking Co. on Facebook.
Fabulous. Or you can follow me and I'll attach you to all the things she does. The fridges are really cool.
Yeah.
So what do you call it?
Farm to fridge.
Already made things. It's a vending machine and you put a credit card. You can open it up and look at things, and then when you put the credit card in, you get charged for whatever you pull out of the machine.
So actually, the card, you swipe the card, it unlocks the door.
Oh, okay.
And then whatever you take out, when you shut the door, it's charged. So you can take something out, look at it, put it back.
Right.
It's just whatever is removed when you shut the door is what you get charged for.
Yeah. And do you have desserts in those?
I do.
As well?
Yeah. We do it seasonally. We did some of the jars in there last week.
Very fun.
Yeah.
You guys follow her. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great. I can't wait to make milk crumb. Yay. Perfect. Hi, I'm Heidi Bellata. Oh, I'm not looking at the camera correctly. Hi, I'm Heidi Bellato. What do I do? Why am I...